Hello, welcome to the Balance Training and Coaching YouTube channel. My name is Kurt and welcome back to the latest video. Today's video, as it says on the title, is frequency and magnitude. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, let's have a look. Quite often in the workplace, a lot of staff tell me that they want some help in terms of making a decision. And of course there are many things you can use in terms of tools and models, techniques and so on to do that. And essentially that's what this is. It's a tool to help you make a decision in one sense. The example I'm going to give is feedback, because it comes up most frequently in my experience in relation to feedback. People will say to me, I'm trying to decide whether or not to feedback something to a member of staff or someone I interact with at work. I'm not sure whether to do it. And therefore I sometimes recommend that they spend literally a few seconds, maybe a minute or two, just on frequency and magnitude. So what do we mean? Well, let's have a look. By frequency, I mean that it can often be useful to consider how many times you have had to deal with a certain situation or a particular person, or how many times something has come up and impacted you in some positive, negative or maybe neutral way. So for example, if you look at feedback, people say, should I feed this back or not? Well, how many times has this person exhibited this behaviour that you're looking to cut out or edit or maybe enhance or develop? So let's say it's something critical, something negative. Let's say it's non-attendance at team meetings. They keep not turning up at team meetings. Okay. Now, if it's a case of, well, it's rare that they do this, you know, they only miss the odd one very rarely, okay, that's one thing. Or is it occasional? So it's not rare, but it's not frequent, somewhere in the middle. Or therefore, of course, is it frequent? This is like once a week, for example. It's a frequent occurrence. Therefore, the general guide, and this is a general guide, a general maxim, there are or will be exceptions. Generally speaking, if it's a rare occasion, you're probably not going to feed it back. If it's occasional, possibly yes, you know, not a guarantee, but worth considering. And if it's frequent, probably yes. I put probably because there are some exceptions to the rule. Again, if you want me to make a short video on detail with that or any of these, tell me and I'll make it for you. But more often than not, if it's a frequent behaviour, you probably are going to address it. Therefore, what do you mean by magnitude? Well, of course, by magnitude, we need to look at the maybe the severity of the behaviour, or maybe the impact that the behaviour is having on others, and therefore, as I believe you know, different behaviours have different magnitudes or a different size of impact compared to others. So, for example, you might use a simple mechanism whereby you deem it to be of high magnitude, the omission, the error, the mistake. An obvious example, of course, is stealing. You know, if you catch me stealing stationery from, you know, the company cupboards, yeah, that's a high magnitude behaviour that you're probably, yes, going to address. And you probably even get rid of the probable as well in that case. You definitely are. Maybe it's a moderate level of magnitude, you know. So, for example, it might be that, by way of example, you might say, you're my manager, and you might say, Kurt, as we discussed, one of the things you said you wanted to do was get more involved in running team meetings, and therefore, at the next team meeting, can you please discuss or address X, Y, and Z? And I go, yeah, sure. I deliver the piece, and then afterwards you ask me how I thought it went, and I say, yeah, I think overall quite good, but I did miss Y, didn't I? I covered X and Z, I missed Y. And you might say, yeah, so it's not a deal breaker, it's not a huge problem, but make sure next time you run the team meeting, you cover all three. So that might be an example of a moderate mistake or omission. Or it might be what you deem to be a low magnitude mistake or error or omission again, you know. So for example, maybe I'm late for work one day, you know. Maybe I'm late by half an hour, so it's quite significant. But again, hey, it's a one-off, you know, and lateness you deem to be a sort of low magnitude mistake. Once again, therefore, if it's of a low magnitude, you're probably not going to feed it back. If it's at moderate level, possibly yes, not a guarantee. And if it's high level, probably yes, or of course in the case of stealing, yes, you're going to feed it back. Therefore, it's a bit like saying, and of course this is just a general, again to repeat, a general guide, a general maxim. Work-related behaviours or circumstances that are below the line, you know, they're rare and or of low magnitude, you're probably not going to address them, you don't need to, or it would be ill-advised to do so. On that note, by the way, a good example is this. Most staff say to me, do you know, I have had an experience before where someone, maybe their manager or someone else, has given them a bit of feedback, and they say that their response was, really? You're going to feed back to me on that? And the example is that, you know, it's something that they rarely did, and or it was of such low magnitude that it didn't really warrant a discussion at all. Or the person giving them feedback was making it seem like this really huge or really significant problem or error, when really it wasn't that big a deal. Therefore, items above the line generally are items that you're possibly or definitely going to feed back on. I understand it's complex. Of course, you can have crossovers, you know, like so. You know, so I do understand it can get very complex. I'm not trying to oversimplify our workplace experiences. That said, even with complex scenarios, you can still use this as one of the tools or methods in your preparation to help you discern what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, if indeed at all. So there we go. That's what I mean by the frequency magnitude model, as I call it. Okay, that's it. To repeat, if you would like me to go into more detail about any of that, again, let me know. I'll happily do so for you. And yeah, thanks again for watching. Please like and subscribe if this has been useful to you. And I look forward to seeing you again, so to speak, on another video. Thanks very much.